Hello, I'm FON QUINTA, welcoming you to the afternoon edition of Prime Shot live from the studios of my media, Prime Television, here in the nation's economic capital, Douala. Now a man of about 60 years old is currently under police custody after he was caught in a homosexual act with a Form 5 student of Government Bilingual High School, Deido, Douala, Cameroon. Sources said the 16-year-old student got permission from school yesterday, March 8, 2021, on the pretext he had stomach complications. A witness said they got sounds of the man and the boy having sex and decided to break open the door. The two are currently under custody after they were saved by elements of the police force. Now, the first set of over 400 refugees of the 5,000 Nigerian refugees who opted for voluntary repatriation yesterday, March 8, left Marwa with consignments of humanitarian assistance packages from President Paul Biya handed to them by Territorial Administration Minister Paul Atanganji. The delegation accompanying the refugees include the United Nations Human Rights Commission for Refugees and Nigerian government representing Borno State. In a context marked by the coronavirus pandemic, the trip took place in strict compliance of COVID-19 barrier measures. A total of 12 buses provided by Borno State government transported the refugees to their country. Now, the executive director of the Network of Central African Human Rights Defenders, Redak Maximilian Gombe, was yesterday honored with the International Women Courage Award from the U.S. Embassy. She received the award in a virtual ceremony hosted by the U.S. Secretary of State, Anthony P. Blinken. Now, the remains of the minister delegate at the Ministry of External Relations in charge of relations with the Islamic world, Adum Gagun, will be buried today in strict Muslim tradition after he passed away on Monday, March 8, 2021 in Yaoundé following a brief illness. Adum Gagun was last seen in public in February when he granted an audience to the Turkish ambassador to Cameroon. Now, for our Agatha Magdalena, journalist with Abakwa FM radio, a Bamenda-based private media organ is no more. The native of Bambili Tuba subdivision, northwest region of Cameroon, died at about 10 p.m. at the Bamenda Regional Hospital yesterday, March 8, 2021, after a protracted illness. Before her death, she was a member of the Cameroon Association of English-Speaking Journalists, Camasage, Association of Cultural Journalists, and Cameroon Media Women. Farah Agatha leaves behind her son, family, friends, colleagues to mourn her. Now, a court in Tunisia has sentenced the brother-in-law of the outstate President Zine Al-Abidine Ben Ali to 10 years in jail for corruption. The court found that Ber Hassan and the owner of a TV had set up a private company where they siphoned off advertising revenues from state television. The men were fined $15 million US. Now, at least 98 people are known to have been killed and more than 600 others injured in a series of explosions at a military camp in Equatorial Guinea on Sunday. State media said 3 young children had been rescued from the rubble of buildings which were flattened after the explosion. President Teodoro Obiangema has blamed the blast in the city of Bota on stubble burnings by farmers and negligence in the storage of explosives. And Senegal's main opposition leader Ousmane Sonko has called for more protests against President Macky Sall, whom he accuses of being behind the rape charges he is now facing. Mr. Sonko was addressing supporters hours after being released on bail following the most violent unrest Senegal has seen in years. Mr. Sonko said the demonstrations should be larger but also peaceful and lead to change in presidential election due in 3 years, with concerns that Mr. Macky Sall may seek a third term in office. This report from Senegal brings us to the end of the afternoon edition of Prime Flash on my media, Prime Television. My name is FON QUINTA. The news was compiled and produced by Ewane and Nolinga. Stay tuned to more programs on The African Eye. Goodbye.